Hey guys, Cam here. Why are horror games scary? Now I'm sure we have our own list of things or moments in video games that have scared the living crap out of us. Be it the necromorphs in Dead Space, that bear chasing you around the house in Condemned 2, or maybe, of course, Resident Evil 6. But today, I want to focus on some of the innate aspects of our human biology which video games exploit to freak us the hell out. Jump scares are used widely in games, and they can be really effective if used sparingly. However, some fascinating research suggests that the best way to scare a player, really scare them, is to warn them of their impending doom in advance. This is a mantra taken to heart by recent release Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs. As our very own reviewer Kevin Van Ord commented,
the game uses the much more satisfying tactic of slowly building a sense that something is deeply wrong with every step you take.
A study called Effect of Forewarning on an Emotional Response to a Horror Film demonstrated that by warning a person, you don't actually help prepare them for the fear ahead. In fact, it does the opposite. It makes the experience all the more terrifying. The researchers were working with film as opposed to games in this case, but they edited 3 scenes from a horror flick to be watched by test subjects. One version with no forewarning, a second with a vague forewarning, and a third one with an explicit forewarning. It turned out that those who watched the latter 2 clips reported more intense fright and upset than those who watched the clip with no forewarning. Other scientific literature has also expanded on this, demonstrating that most of the stress reaction occurs during the anticipation of a threat rather than during the actual confrontation.
Alright, I know you're confused right now. I can explain everything, but you gotta trust me, okay? Listen, you're in terrible danger.
Showing violence in a game is another very effective way to cause terror. When we see another character, or even our avatar, on the bad end of some gruesome violence, we might say we feel their pain. Well, thanks to our brains, we literally do. Not their physical pain, mind you, but their emotional pain, very much so. So down to this population of brain cells called mirror neurons, which fire not only when we do an action or feel a sensation, but also when we watch someone else do an action or feel a sensation. It's like a kind of neural empathy. In fact, as neuroscientist V.S. Ramachandran explains in his fascinating TED Talk, The Neurons That Shaped Civilization, if we watch a friend touching another friend on the hand, the only reason we don't literally feel that touch is because the sensory cells in our hand are essentially reporting back to the brain saying, hey, ignore that, there's no sensation going on down here. As a result though, if you then anesthetize your whole arm so there's no feeling in it, and then you watch one friend touch another friend on the hand, your brain can literally feel it. Now, I don't think it's ridiculous to suppose that these mirror neurons also play a role when we see a violent act befall a character in a video game. Sound is used to great effect by horror games to elicit that fear response. 2 sounds that never really fail to do this are alarms and, of course, screams. Both are examples of non-linear sounds and are characterized by rapidly changing frequencies and noise. They sound almost distorted to our ears, and they universally cause feelings of unease. Now, if we take a scream, say, and distort it further, it becomes arguably even more unpleasant. The hypothesis is that because these sounds are inherently unpredictable, they capture our attention. The Dead Space series make great use of these sounds when creating the screams of the necromorphs. As always, thanks for watching everybody, and I'd also like to give a huge thanks to Umberto Incingolo, who helped extensively with my research for this episode. His book, currently only available in Italian, but which translates to English as Beware We Like the Danger, Adrenaline, Fear, Pleasure, deals with the science of fear in all types of media. He also said an English translation should be available in the future. Okay, as always guys, let me know what you think of this episode in the comments or on Twitter, and I'll see you next week for more Reality Check.